Hello YouTubers and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. In today's review I'm taking a look at the black variant of Missy, exclusive to Character Online as part of the Doctor Who 5.5-inch scale collector series. So I've already reviewed the purple version a few weeks ago, now let's take a look at the second variant. Beginning with the packaging, just like the purple version, the figure comes in the same window box with the new collector series design and the current Doctor Who logo. And we also have the outside of Missy's little device thing that she uses as the outside of the box, which is a really nice touch. Then on the back of the box we have a new bio for Missy, the same as on the purple box. We have the same quote, and of course we have a picture of this figure. So this figure is very much the same as the purple version. It is mainly a repaint, but there are a few sculpting differences and of course a really major difference with the head. But before we go into that, let's take a look at the articulation. So because it's the same as the other figure, all the articulation is the same. We have articulation at the head, can turn left and right. We have the same shoulders that come out to the sides and can pivot all the way around. We have articulation at the biceps. We have articulation at the elbows, which pivot up and down and are also ball jointed so they can rotate all the way around. One thing I will point out is that in the last review, the purple Missy, I said that this was the first time we've seen this on a figure in this range. And then someone corrected me that actually we've seen this on the Jadoon figure way back when, and we also saw it on Oswin. Yeah, so apologies for that, it just escaped my memory. One thing to note that I will just point out here is be very careful with the bicep articulation. So as you can see here, this, pops off very easily. So I would suggest when you're trying to move the figure at the shoulders, I mean, luckily it just clicks back in, the peg doesn't snap, really do try and grab it from the shoulder section, because trying to grab it here, lower down the arm, you risk popping that out. And although it does pop back in, you don't want to snap that peg because otherwise you're going to lose the articulation there. We also have articulation at the wrists, again 360s, articulation at the waist, and we also have articulation at the hips and at the knees, but because of all of the PVC skirt and everything, you can't really get any access to that. So although you can move her legs back and forth, you can twist them around a bit, you don't really get an awful lot of movement out of those, but she still stands up really well. So with that out of the way, let's look at the details. So the first major difference is of course the head sculpt. So whereas the other version had a neutral face with a hat, this version has her mad maniacal grin. And first thing I will say is that I think I prefer this head sculpt. It just adds a bit more to the likeness in that it gives us a sense of her character, and I think they've really captured Michelle's mad grin. It really does look like her. That's not to say that I don't like the other version, but I just think this version looks even better. Other than that, it is very much the same in as much as the paint apps are all very similar. We've got the same lipstick and the blush on the cheeks and the way her eyes are painted. That's all very similar. Of course, she doesn't have the hat, so we get a better look at her hair. Again, this is very nicely sculpted. As you can see, all the curls and everything like that. And that has been painted brown with a black wash over the top. Then if we move down to her costume, the costume is basically the same as the purple version. The only real difference is that the trim around the outside has been lost and it's much plainer. There is a bit of trim there, but it isn't as fanciful as the purple version. So it really is just the same sculpt, which has been tweaked slightly. So working down from the top, we've got the shirt piece. This is the same sculpt. The colour's different. This time it's grey rather than that off-yellow colour. We have the same brooch. Again, very nicely painted. You can see the image of the head there, and the collar is white. Then we have the jacket, which is exactly the same as the other jacket, again, minus the trim. This time, though, you can see that the trim that it does have has been painted in a gloss black, so it just stands out slightly from the rest of the jacket. We have the buttons sculpted down the front and the different seams. And then if we move over to the pockets, again, instead of the finer details from the purple version, this is just very flat with a little line sculpted in to make it look like there's a pocket there, and then the area around it has been painted in a gloss black, again just to make it stand out from the rest of the costume. The same effect is then taken on the back, so the back is again the same as the purple version, all the same creases and the seams, all very nicely done. And then on the sleeves you can see that we have the 3 buttons, and then you've got that gloss black piping around the side of the cuffs. And then the sculpt of the skirt, very nicely done with all the creases and the seams, and the boots are the same as well, with the laces and the same creases. And then the bottom of the boots have been painted with a light tan colour, just to make it look like the soles of her shoes. And if we look at her hands, again it's the same red colour fingernails, and we also have the same rings on either hand. One cool thing that you can do, however, is you can remove the heads, as I showed you on the previous version. So as you can see, it pops off ever so easily. And then these you can then swap around, so you can display your figure however way you want it. I particularly like the laughing head on the purple costume. That's more of a Series 9 look, I think. So moving on to the accessories. She comes with the same accessories as the previous version. She has the same umbrella, which is very nicely sculpted with the folds and the spokes and the little bit of gold bronze paint at the end. We also have a little device, which is again just sculpted in black with a silver wash over the top to make it all stand out. And we also have those two burgundy reddish circles on the back. So overall, again, I think it's a really great figure. It's great to have a figure of Missy because she's such a major part of the series now. One thing I will say is that although I prefer the head on this version, I do actually prefer the costume for the purple version. The reason being is I just think that the purple version looks more interesting. It stands out more on the shelf compared to just being totally in black. However, I guess this version looks probably more in keeping with the other versions of the Master because they are all in black. But of course, what is really nice is that you do have this head swappability, so you can mix and match your figures any way you want. So thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's been useful. Again, these two figures are exclusive to Character Online, so you can only get them from there. You can't get them from Forbidden Planet or anything like that. And this is hopefully going to be the start of exclusives to Character's own website. And they've already said that should these two be a success, they would like to look into doing more figures in the same vein, so the same character released twice, you know, two variants. And there's already been some sort of murmuring about perhaps if they do another one, it would be a classic Doctor Who figure, which of course you all know is really up my street, so I really do hope to see that happen, and I really do hope that it's a classic character. That would be really exciting. So yes, if you want to get this figure in the purple version, you can now head over to Character Online, and they are both £19.99. So, thank you for watching this review, guys, and I shall see you all soon for another Doctor Who action figure review. We've still got the Night of the Doctor, 8th Doctor to come, and we also have the new Flight Control TARDIS to come, and of course we still have a few more repaint variants that I haven't looked at yet. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you all next time for another Doctor Who action figure review.